You see, as a Jeff Gordon fan, I'm thrilled to see the 24 back in victory lane at Martinsville. As a racing fan and a NASCAR fan, that was a tough one to watch. Martinsville is one of the best tracks, if not the best track on the schedule. It always puts on a great show, except for tonight. That I only watched the second half. I missed the first half of the race. I was out doing stuff. But that second half of the race, and from what I read the first half of the race as well, that was it wasn't good. Straight up wasn't good. I don't know if it's the car. I mean, it's got to be the cars, I guess. But these cars were built for short tracks, and I don't know what the exact problem is. I don't know if they have to make a change to make it better racing. But there were 0 on-track passes for the lead tonight. So, yeah, Martinsville is usually a place where we see a lot of different leaders, a lot of lead changes. But tonight we saw 0. It's kind of shocking. 2 guys dominated the race. Elliott the first half, Byron in the second half. There were probably 4 total leaders, and 2 of them were from green flag pit stops, and they led laps because the leaders pitted. Yeah, so not much happened. So I don't know if it's a issue with the aerodynamics of the car. I don't know if it has to do with there's not enough power under the engine. I don't know if it's the gear shifting. For the first time ever at Martinsville, they were shifting throughout the race, throughout qualifying, but they would be in 5th down the straights, and once they got into the entrance, the entry of the corner, they would downshift into 4th gear. We have 5 gears instead of 4 gears this year, and once they would exit the corner, they'd pop that sucker back into 5th. I don't know if that was a factor in why it was bad, but Martinsville is a race that I look forward to every year. 2 times a year. I love this track. I love the racing it puts on. It makes me and most every other NASCAR fan happy when this track rolls around on the calendar. And what tonight was to say extremely disappointing is an understatement. I don't want to be negative like this whole video, because honestly, this year has been really good so far at the tracks that used to be not so great in terms of, the old car. Like, Vegas was great. Auto Club was great. Phoenix, it wasn't great, but it was better. Richmond was good. It wasn't great. It was good, though, with the strategy. There was nothing exciting about tonight. The 24 one, which was cool, as I said earlier, as a Gordon fan, it was the ugliest 24 paint scheme. I'm being very negative this video, but the 24, that Raptor scheme is horrendous. It looks like a test car. So, yeah, put some more effort into that, first of all. Second of all, I don't know what the problem is, but that was one of the worst Martinsville races I've seen. It's that or the 2019 spring race. 2019 spring race, I think there was 1 change for the lead on track, and Keselowski led like 450 out of the 500 laps. They shortened this race by 100 laps, by the way, and honestly, it ended up being for the better. Initially, I was really mad at that decision. I was like, Martinsville's one of the best races. Why would you take laps away from that one and not another race? Well, that ended up being a good call, because this race, there was a late race caution, and they tried to make it interesting. Nothing happened. Byron pulled away from Logano and Dillon, and Byron won, but I don't know what the problem was. There's literally nothing else to talk about this race. This is going to be like the shortest race recap ever. Going through the results, Byron gets his 2nd win of the year, his first multi-win season in the Cup Series, and he is the first 2-time winner this year. I think we got to start talking about it. William Byron Championship. Is that a possibility right now? Because he is looking the strongest. He had a really rough start to the year, a couple DNFs early on in the season, but then after that, he's been top 5 almost every race. He led laps and was top 5 at Vegas. He was top 5 and led laps at, Phoenix or another race? He won Atlanta, led a good chunk of laps there, led the most laps tonight, I believe. I mean, Byron's looking like a championship contender. Like, he's led laps almost every type of track. He's won at different types of tracks. Byron's looking really good right now. William Byron might be a championship contender. Could it be the 3rd different champion for Hendrick Motorsports in 3 straight years? Obviously, it's early in the year, and the format sucks. So, we don't know right now. But as of right now, I think Byron's got to be one of the favorites for the championship. Joey Logano, 2nd, really good run for him. Yeah, he's been looking good on the short tracks this year. The LA Coliseum he won tonight, finished second. He was up there in the top 5 a good chunk of the night. Austin Dillon has to be the surprise of the night, finished 3rd. Really good run for him. He was actually up there with Byron for a bit, but eventually fell off the pace in terms of Byron's pace and finishes 3rd. Really good run for him. 4th place, Ryan Blaney. 5th place, Ross Chastain. 6th place, Kurt Busch. Good day for him. 23:11. Hasn't had the greatest year, but he's doing all right. 7th place, Kyle Busch. 8th place, Eric Almirola. 9th place, Chase Briscoe. 10th place, Chase Elliott. He swept the stages, led 170, 80-something laps. Made a questionable pit call late in the race, but yeah, 10th place for him. Austin Cindric, 11th. 12th, Alex Bowman. 13th, Eric Jones. 14th, Harvick. 15th, Buescher. 16th, Bubba. 17th, Brad. 18th, Reddick. 19th, Larson. Larson's never really been good at Martinsville, so that is like the one time he does bad that it doesn't surprise me. 20th, Bell. 21st, Custer. 22nd, Truex. Had a really weird thing go on where his tire got cut after pitting. Very bizarre. 23rd, Ty Dillon. 24th, AJ Allmendinger. 25th, Michael McDowell. 26th, Burton. 27th, Stenhouse. 28th, Hamlin. 29th, 30th, Todd Gilliland. 31st, Justin Hay. 32nd, Corey LaJoy. 33rd, Cody Ware. 34th, J.J. Haley. 35th, Josh Bilicki. 36th, Beecham Cloud. I genuinely don't know what else to say. This was a shocking result. Not the race results, like who won, but in terms of the racing. I mean, once again, Martinsville has always been one of the best tracks in NASCAR. Martinsville has always been the best or second best race of the year. At least one of their races is last year. You know, that second to last race, was it last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago with Harvick. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Second to last race was amazing. Last year, the spring race was really good. Hamlin versus Truex for the win. And Truex ended up getting the win there. That was a really fun race. Last year in the fall, yeah, it was Bowman and Hamlin. They had their incident. So that was a really fun race. 2020, the spring race, there wasn't much action in terms of wrecks and stuff, but there was a lot of passing going on, a lot of different leaders. It was really fun. We talked about the fall race already. 2019 was when they had the 750 with the really big spoilers, so that both of those races weren't very good. But other than that, like, every Martinsville race has been amazing in recent memory, and tonight was like a major disappointment. I really don't know what the problem was. I really don't know what part of the car is the problem. I don't know if it's the shifting, if they got to change something in the gearbox. I don't know if they got to put more power. I don't know if they got to change something with the aero. But yeah, that was one of the worst Martinsville races I have watched, and I hate being negative about Martinsville. Like, this is actually physically hurting me to be this negative about Martinsville. It's one of my favorite tracks, and it was not a fun race. It was kind of boring. It was boring. So you hate to see that happen, but I'm once again, on the bright side, we have seen really good races at tracks we weren't expecting to be so great or haven't been great in recent memory. So that's good, but this car was also built for short tracks and road courses, and the first, like, 2 short tracks in terms of the racing haven't been top tier. Richmond with the strategy made it really fun. Today, there was nothing. So the road course was a success at COTA. But I don't know what to tell you. We got the Australian Grand Prix here in an hour and 15 minutes. So hopefully I can get this video up before that. Really looking forward to that. So I will see you guys again at like 3 a.m. for a video. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., somewhere around there. I will be making a video again. Looking forward to that. Hopefully it's better than Martinsville. I know this was a negative video, but there really wasn't much to talk about other than how the racing wasn't that great. I really hope they fix the problem. I love Martinsville. I really don't hope they base like everything with this car off this one race. I hope they fix it and all that stuff, and that it ends up being a better race next time around, and that they fix it, and that we don't like lose short tracks off the schedule or prevent getting more short tracks. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys for Australia.